Hey, what's up guys? So today is November 6th. That means we have 4 more days to Tokyo November 10th live event. So I'm pretty excited about it, going to Tokyo. I'm flying into Tokyo on Thursday morning, so it'll be pretty jam-packed schedule for me. 9th and 10th. A lot of meeting and consultation going on. But I just wanted to remind you guys we have only 4 more days. And wanted to just prime up excitement. Things are gonna happen in Tokyo. This is my first time actually doing it. There's so many people, like 10, 12, 13, 14 people. So yeah, I'm very excited. Probably you don't maybe have right or like exact specific expectation about this event when you meet me in Tokyo. Some of you guys are having private consultation with me. Some of you guys, the other person, are just signing up for a group consultation. Probably you don't know like what it's like to meet me in person, or what you're going to talk to me, what you're going to ask me, or you probably don't know because until we meet in person, we don't know how we connect to each other. We don't know how we talk. So everything is like kind of uncertain and unknown. Even if you know me through these YouTube videos about, I don't know you much personally, other than the Google Forms survey and also some of the videos you guys send me. So I honestly don't know what it's like to be meeting you, every one of you guys. But I thought about it last night when I was going to sleep. There are only few times like you live 1 year, right? And how many times, like how many people do you remember in a single year that you met that changed your life perspective so much, that shifted your vector, your trajectory of your life so much? I remember when I was like 19 and before studying abroad, before flying to Canada, I've attended a few panel discussion seminar sessions, and there were like a few that I remember vividly. To this day, I was talking to some counselor about my goals, my motivations, my struggles. I remember that in a hallway, a little small table and a chair on the side of the hallway, we were sitting and talking. I remember that vividly. Also all the excitement, especially after I took a TOEFL test in Higashi something, like the east of Tokyo, in a national school. And then I was taking a train back. I was standing on a train, inside a train, and I felt like liberated. I felt empowered. I felt powerful. I felt like I achieved something. I spent maybe 3 months hard work studying while working 9 to 5. And then I felt like I did it. I created my new future by myself. I created new possibility by myself, my effort. I remember that feeling, like so liberating, empowering to this day. Those small moments accumulated over long term, compounded over multiple events, you build your new future. So for me, my experience was I started from those little small events. I didn't know really like where I would have been 9, 10 years after. Obviously, I didn't know even like half a year ago if I was here right now, or if I have met people that I've met in the past 3 months or half a year. I didn't know. I did not predict or expect that I was living in this and that country with this and that job and people. It's almost impossible for me to predict next half a year or even 1 year. So that is to say, it is almost impossible. I didn't even think a bit about what kind of life I'm living right now 9 years ago, 10 years ago. Few examples. 9 years ago, I had severe eczema or atopy. I needed to quit my job. It was because of so much stress. I was overloaded by stress, mentally, physically. I was working 9 to 5, or more or less like evening shifts, so 12 to 9 p.m. And then I would study 2-3 hours for English, TOEFL, SAT. I did that for like 1 year or so. Also did U.S. college, liberal arts college application all by myself. It was pretty tough for me because online application for the American college requires you to write essay, and I've never written an essay even in English, right? So it was tough, and then I needed to do a lot of work, research, and read books. And on top of that, I just studying for English vocabularies and also SAT, math, chemistry, biology, and then also studying, researching about school, universities, colleges to apply. Major, what to major. A lot of stuff, and on top of that, I needed to make my own money to support my own education. Right? I couldn't ask for my parents' financial support, and it was almost impossible. I felt like I somehow motivated myself to work and study, and then somehow I hoped that it'll work out in the end. But looking back, even if I worked like 2 years or 3 years, let's say 2 years, I would have saved like $40,000, $50,000. 40,000. It's possible to save 40,000, not 50,000, maybe like 35 or 40,000, right? Maximum. And then I would take a student loan from Japanese government at 60,000 on top of 30,000, 90,000, right? 90,000. Then if I do internships or co-ops while in school to earn money to pay for my school and living expense, then it would have been possible. And I think I was imagining that, I was believing, I was dreaming about it, I was visualizing. That kept me going and going and going. But I got eczema and atopy. Also, my TOEFL score was 93, I remember. But I didn't have enough. I didn't meet a science department, like a Bachelor of Science degree program prerequisite, because I didn't take calculus 3 or biology or chemistry in grade 12. So I applied for universities. I got accepted into arts department, but not science, which was what I wanted to study, like computer science or biochemistry. So I got accepted into University of Alberta for arts, and then I got scholarship for $10,000. I remember, free scholarship from the University of Alberta. And I also got accepted into University of British Columbia for again arts degree. So I didn't want to study arts, and also UBC, University of British Columbia. Even if I got accepted into the program, I knew there's no way to pay for me the tuition, because tuition was $40,000 a year. $40,000 a year times 4. It's like $160,000, $200,000. Oh my fucking god, right? Also applied to McGill University. I got waitlisted on McGill. So I didn't get accepted by McGill. SFU, I did not apply. So I ended up, having a bunch of conditional acceptance or waitlist from American Liberal Arts, I think 2, and also accepted by University of Alberta, British Columbia, and that was it, right? For 2 years. I applied for 2 years. And then I remember I gave up. I got atopy, eczema, and I quit my job. And then, I think my planning wasn't good enough. I applied for universities that are not cheap enough. I was applying for Japanese summer organizations free scholarship, hoping to support my education cost, but I didn't get it. So at that point, I got stuck. 2010, like March, April. 2010, right? And then Lehman shock, Lehman Brothers bankruptcy, and subprime loan thing happened in 2008. And I remember 2008 and 9, 10, right after I graduated from high school, there was like a huge global economic depression, people getting fired, not much good news, just pessimism. And then I remember watching the TV news, Japanese, I think it was like NHK or something. The people who are even graduated from Tokyo University or Kyoto, Waseda Keio, I think it was the Tokyo University graduate. They are applying for investment banks like Goldman Sachs, right? I can't quite remember exactly what the exact news was about, but it was about Tokyo or Waseda Keio, Hitotsubashi. And pretty much to get a good job at a good company in Japan, you need a name university, right? And also you need at least like a university degree. Even if most of our university degrees are useless, but still companies have minimum requirement for applicants to have a university degree. At the time I was turning 20, I was still 19, right? 19, I spent 2 years after high school working as a contract worker. I didn't have any university degree, I have high school graduate. And I realized I would never be able to get a job that those Tokyo University grad students can get, because they require just a reputational university. And I realized when I gave up, I realized that I'm gonna have the same salary compensation for next 20-30 years. I was getting paid $17 per hour, which was pretty decent for contract worker. But what's even worse was that there's no more upward potential. There was no upward growth more than $17 per hour. And I remember I was like so depressed. Like, okay, I cannot get out from this matrix, this system. I was finished. I was done. There's no other way if I couldn't go to university. And I wanted to study abroad. And for that sake, I didn't apply for Japanese university. I followed my intuition and feeling and expression. And then I remember that was it, my life. It will going to be a failure. Couldn't go to university, and it's too late. And then I wouldn't go to Japanese university for sure, I knew. And then I couldn't go to university in the Western cities, countries. I remember I would be stuck. I wouldn't be able to make much money, I wouldn't be able to have much freedom, not much career growth, I'm a contract worker, and just a pure depression. And that was that. I had that moment. When I saw that even Tokyo University graduate students were having a hard time finding a job at, the Shosha and consulting companies. Yeah, Shosha consulting company and financial investment banks. I was like, done. I would never be able to reach that level. I remember watching a TV, standing, in the dining room. And then I remember a few days after, my mom told me my uncle was willing to loan me some money so that I can, study abroad, get university degree. And I sat down, opened up Excel sheet, kind of punched a number, and did some calculation. If he said, my mom told me my uncle was willing to loan me $40,000, and if I add 40,000 to my saving and also student loan, I would have around $90,000 to $100,000. And if I do internships and co-ops, then if I go from college and then start from like a cheap tuition to a university, and then transfer to the 4-year university and then do that, I realize it's possible. And then that's how I started applying for. I applied for a college in Canada, College of the Rockies. And then I think it was like April, May, June. Can't quite remember. And then I bought a ticket, flew to Canada, started a college from September. Fast forward, that was 2010 September. Fast forwarding 8 years, right now 2018 November 6, right? 8 years. No, actually 9 years, right? 8 years? 8 years, let's say 8 years. I'm a completely different person. I have a completely different career, a completely different life perspective because of not only the study abroad experience, but also in Canada, but also study abroad in Czech Republic. I've also traveled quite a bit, Southeast Asia, North America, Europe, Eastern Europe, Central Europe. Asia now, Southeast Asia again now. I've met a lot of people. I've read many books, self-development books, non-fiction books for personal growth. I have worked on my body, fitness, physique, health. I competed for fitness competition twice. First time sucked. Second time was this year. I got second place in Vancouver. Best physique yet. Financially, I've paid off $40,000 or $45,000 student loan last year, November, I think, 2017. And then this year, 1 month or 2 months ago, I also paid off $25,000 loans from my uncle. So I paid off $45K and $25K, which sum up to $70,000 in 3 years from university graduation. I also need to pay back $5,000 to my sister. And then with that, I'm gonna pay back every single dollar that I borrowed for my education. And then I want you to think like this way. If you buy a house and then housing price is going up, and then when you buy a house, you get mortgages, right, from the bank. And then your price for house is here. It's not guaranteed to go up, a few years after. It can go down. But when you invest in yourself for education, especially like computer science, your price almost goes up because appreciation value is so high with software engineering skill in the modern society. So I invested at least $100,000. Maybe just pure education, maybe $60K or $70K. $60,000 for myself 9 years ago. And then 8-9 years after, I just paid back the mortgages or student loans of $75,000-$80,000. And not only I paid back everything that I paid for, mortgages, my original price was here, housing price was here. But because I invested in my education, my housing price on my body is here. It's probably twice or 3 times, even 10 times more than 9 years ago. It's because so much education education that I invest in myself, not only academic, scientific, social engineering stuff, but also personal development, self-actualization, fitness, health, spirituality, social skills, human psychology, and everything. So now I'm a completely different person. And what I want to talk about in this video is that you're gonna meet me in 3 or 4 days, right? Tokyo, November 10th. And then I told you in this beginning of this video that there are only few times a year that you meet or you have some kind of events. And that's gonna change, or that's gonna shift the trajectory the rest of your life. You don't meet that much, inspirational people or some life-changing events in a year. And I remember I talked about how a few events I still remember that changed my future trajectory. And me having done that, and me coming to Tokyo and to come talk to you, who you also want to follow some similar path, choosing something that not many people choose. You're being non-conformist. You're not conforming to what society thinks is normal. You're taking more risks to get more reward. You are going for more freedom, more abundance, and much happier life for you. I'm not saying this lifestyle is absolute, but I'm saying life in Japan is pretty limited in terms of work and then career. You don't have much options, right? Work and life balance, vacation days, pay, a lot of things. And I know that's one of the reasons why you want to explore other opportunities outside of Japan, like me, I did, and I am right now doing. So for you to come here, to meet me, it is going to be something quite different because you probably haven't met any person like me in real life. You grew up in high school and junior high school pretty much following whatever everybody else is doing. Everybody's doing the same thing, and nobody is really doing something different, which requires more courage, which requires more trust in yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to have a strong will. You need to have a strong heart to follow what you want, because many people is gonna say you cannot do it, or that's not possible. Many people is gonna disagree with the ideas. Many people disagreed with me, but that's what it takes. And once you came from the other side, once you come out from the other side, once you finish and achieve and everything, you establish your life. I have established my life pretty good right now. And then you look back and you see those people who are stuck behind the kind of prison walls, and they are shackled. And now you can get to say, this is what I wanted to achieve and I just did. You, however, you are stuck there and you're jealous. Because you complained and you said to me, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. It's because you couldn't believe you could do it, right? So, for you to go through what you're going to go through, it's not going to be easy. It's simple, but it's not easy to achieve. It takes a lot of hard work, commitment, and dedication. I can tell you that. But I can tell you a lot more about rewards, what are you looking for to achieve. And this, I hope you're gonna make it, you're gonna really take it to your heart, feel it. Make sure to feel whatever the feeling you're gonna feel, whether painful or jealous or embarrassed or feeling guilt or shame or feeling like you're not enough. Whatever the feeling that you're gonna feel, remember that. Just remember that feeling, because that's gonna push you through the hard time. You remember the feeling, and then you're gonna use the pain as a leverage to bounce back up. So I just hope that you're gonna be excited to come to this event, and this is gonna be one of the most difficult, life-changing decisions I know you're gonna make, because it's not easy. It's not easy. Nobody's supporting you, really, in Japan. Everybody's following the standard path, status quo, and everybody's going to be the company slaves, and everybody's gonna think oh, there's the only option in my life to live, which is the country and the city that I was born, and that is completely false. You get to have more options. They don't even think. They don't even have a consciousness. They have a choice. They have a choice in place to live and a place to work. You can find a job outside of Japan. There's nothing stopping you other than your limiting belief. And most Japanese are limited by those conditional things, condition. They think it's impossible to go find a job outside Japan. It is possible. But what's limiting is their mental limiting belief. They need to get rid of that, but they don't even know that exists. So changing the belief system is really critical when you were young. I did it. It changed my life. It all started from belief system. I knew this is not the ideal work-life balance condition. I knew something was wrong, completely wrong, about those old guys looking super tired and depressed, commuting on the train from 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and they don't have any sparkles in their eyes. They are tired from life. They're depressed. They don't even think about family. They don't think about love. They don't think about emotion. They're just robot. I felt high school. I felt that was wrong. I don't want to be that kind of adult. I don't want to live life like that. But sadly, many people just accept that's the way that it is. But you don't want to. You don't want to live like that. I know. And you need to listen to your heart because that's true. Outside Japan, outside Asia, there are more than half the population in the entire world are not living like Japanese, okay? So the way Japanese live, culture, socially conditioned belief system is only true within Japan, within Korea, within China. Whatever the cultures you believe is true, religion, culture, the way of working, it's not true for the half the rest of the population. Just remember that. So I can tell you, in Canada, in Germany, or other countries like Netherlands, Sweden, the way they approach their life, happiness, family time, career, personal happiness, completely different from Japanese way. And I could say their way is much more developed than Japanese way. Japanese way is not optimal for personal happiness, 100%. When it comes to like a career. Most of the career. Some companies exist, but it's exception. So this time, 4 days from now, I hope you're gonna be excited. Hope you're gonna absorb a lot of feelings, mostly feeling like a life experience. And we have 3 or 4 more days. I know I told you guys and emailed you guys to send me videos if you're serious about it. This is probably last chance. You sign up for this. You made a commitment. You made a commitment financially, mentally, and physically. Because some of you guys are traveling from Western Japan. Some of you guys are taking trains from outside Tokyo. Some of you are from Tokyo, but most of them are outside Tokyo. How much time are you gonna spend, taking public transit? How much money you spend and you will spend to come here to Tokyo with train? How much time? How much energy? Think about it. It's investment for yourself. It's educational investment for yourself, right? So you've done that, and you don't want to back off right now. So to make the most out of our time in the in-person and group, make sure to send me videos so that I can have better understanding about your context and environment and situation, so that I can give you more, I can shortcut those times that you need to tell me, an introductory period, so that we can spend our time most effectively. Other than that, I just have nothing else more to say. It is like me going back to Tokyo and then seeing those guys, you guys, who are about to start the journey, getting the Bachelor of Science or software engineering degree or whatever the degree is outside Japan. It's like I'm going to meet my old self before I flew to Canada, and the old self who are confused, who are lost. And it's kind of like me giving advice to my old self. I'd like to help. I want to give back and I want to contribute. So I'm excited, and I know it's gonna be life changing because you're gonna make such a big life decision. Right? Nobody has done that outside your, in your school. Nobody has done that. Nobody will. It's gonna always be a minority, and it's scary, but it's possible. And there's so much better world outside. I'm not saying world in Japan is bad. It's pretty bad, but you can still think like it's happy. It's up to you, but it's gonna be life, changing decision, and it's gonna be only start of a life transformation. That's how I see it, life transformation. So, with that said, 4 more days. Yeah, just remind yourself, don't let this time pass by so fast. Think a lot, feel a lot, take notes, write down questions that you want to ask me. Order them based on priorities. What do you need to know most? What you feel stuck and struggling the most? Prioritize questions. And make sure to spend the time most efficiently, the time we have, right? With that said, I'll see you guys in 3 or 4 days. Right? Some of you guys in 3 days. Some of you guys 4 days. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.